This is the Techno Spark 9T, the smaller variant of the Techno Spark 9 Pro, which we covered on this channel. You have a massive 32 megapixel selfie camera for an affordable device, also packaged in this really cool design. It actually sounds like it's all roses, especially for 78,300 naira, about $130 for my international audience. But there are certain things you should consider before you go out there to get this device. And of course, I'm going to share them with you. And so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. This smartphone comes in a small white and orange box. Inside the box, you will find the smartphone itself, a transparent silicone rubber case, a screen protector, a charging brick, a USB Type-C cable, a pair of earphones, and a pamphlet and documentation. The Techno Spark 9T's back panel is made entirely out of plastic with this shiny mirror finish that reflects a lot of light. The good thing here is you have this nicely designed case within the box that amps the beauty of the smartphone and hides that mirror. Now, if you want to get this device, it is available in Atlantic Blue, Turquoise Cyan, Iris Purple, and Cocoa Gold color options. On the back panel here, there are two lenses and a dual LED flash behind. This reminds me of the Camon 19 series design, and aside from those, the remaining panel is entirely plain. Overall, this smartphone has a straightforward design. Speaking about the ports and I/O on this device, there is a dedicated slot for the microSD card here and dual SIM slots. You'll find a 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB-C port, which is a welcome development in the Spark series, and also the down-firing speaker grille. On the front panel, you will find the selfie camera tucked in a teardrop notch cutout at the top of the screen on this device. There's also a fingerprint scanner that doubles as a power button, positioned at the right edge of the smartphone. Directly below that is the volume rocker keys. The Spark 9T's design definitely stands out in a good way. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is this glossy finish at the rear, because this for sure is a fingerprint magnet and will show a lot of scratch if you do not use the case for the smartphone. Now, flipping over to the front side of this device, you get a 6.6-inch HD Plus resolution, which is 720 by 1600 pixels, and an IPS LCD panel with a 90 Hz refresh rate. Now, design-wise, you still see the bezels are quite large for the screen, and the screen-to-body ratio on the front side is about 83%, while you retain the 20:9 aspect ratio. Is this the brightest device to use outdoor? No. You tend to struggle a tad bit under direct sunlight with this panel, and the brightness for outdoor use is as good as it gets. This is for sure an okay display for the price. I mean, you wouldn't really get a lot of devices at this price point with 90 Hz refresh rate. Now, the Mediatek Helio G37 SoC powers the Techno Spark 9T, a low-end chipset with 8 cores and a 2.3 GHz clock speed, running on a 12nm architecture. It is a bit disappointing that it comes with this processor because it has this restricted performance when it comes to demanding tasks like heavy gaming. But on the other hand, this smartphone is ideal for day-to-day activities like swiping through multiple applications on the smartphone, accessing the internet, multitasking, and watching media content. The Techno Spark 9T combines the memory storage options of 4 gigs and 64 gigs of internal storage, or 4 gigs and 128 gigs RAM. There's also this memory fusion feature to extend your RAM up to 7 gigs, which is additional 3 gigs of RAM. In terms of the software, the Techno Spark 9T runs on Android 12 with the HIOS 8.6 overlay. You of course wouldn't really expect an OS update for devices at this price range, so you'd be stuck with Android 12 on this device for life, with occasional security patches from Techno. HIOS has a lot of features, but a large number of bloatware apps is something I can't stop screaming about on HIOS. You get these disturbing ads in your notification pane when you start using this device every day, most of which can be disabled or uninstalled though. Now let's talk about the cameras on the Techno Spark 9T. The camera here is a 13 megapixel main sensor at the rear with a 2 megapixel depth sensor and a QVGA lens. This is an okay, decent camera package, but for this price, what else can you expect? Shockingly, you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera, which tends to give you better details in terms of the photo than what you get from the rear camera. Colors for the cameras are not spot on if you ask me, but good enough for you to use for your social media postings. As far as the video quality here, you should expect 1080p resolution for both the front and the rear cameras. Nothing really fancy as far as the cameras on the Techno Spark 9T. As for the battery capacity here, the Spark 9T packs an amazing 5000 mAh battery, which can last you for a whole day with an average use, which is of course the same as the predecessor. But I'd hate to dash your hopes. This isn't another smartphone that has super fast charging support. You get a 10-watt charger from within this box, which charges from 0 to 100 in about 3 hours. A little over 3 hours actually. So for 78,300 naira, about $130, you can get the 4 gigs and 64 gigs memory configuration, or for 88,000 naira, $145, which is $15 more, you can get the bumped up memory version, which is 4 gigs and 128 gigs storage. The Spark 90 is a decent device, an almost perfect device for the price. You have this great design, decent processing, good selfie camera, big battery, but some aspects that are not so good would include the main camera and the processing on the smartphone. Now, if you want a better camera and better processing, you can check out the Spark 9 Pro if those really do matter to you. Call it that day.